2024 continues to be a steady year for game releases, and July is no exception. We've got looter shooters, expansions, brand new IPs, sports games, betas, and more. I'm going to quickly give you those games in order that they release in the month, including the platforms that they are landing on. Now, like most of my videos, this one will head into a live discussion, so if I miss any of the games in July that you're looking forward to, let me know in a comment below or come over to the live stream, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Now up first, we have a game that I have been anticipating for a while after I enjoyed the little time that I spent with it in the beta. We have the first Ascendant on July the 2nd, hitting PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, as well as PC. Now, I do have a video on this channel outlining my concerns about where microtransactions could end up, specifically with how the end game is designed. But the more footage I see, the more excited I get for this title. They've been releasing new footage just this week of specific characters and gameplay, and it really looks like a game that is shaping up to be a fun time. So be sure to check this one out, or keep it here. I'll definitely be doing gameplay, thoughts, and coverage. Up next is for all you Final Fantasy XIV fans. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail releases on July the 2nd for PS4, PS5, and the Xbox Series X and S, and PC and Mac. Now, this game is no stranger to adding content and having comebacks. I've actually always enjoyed this game from a distance because I simply do not have time for another game right now, and I've just been thrilled to see the positive reception and the high praise from the community. Hopefully, Dawn Trail can continue that trend for the game and community. We've seen them get lots of recognition recently, and this expansion, this DLC, could certainly do that for them. Now, this next one might not be on your radar because it honestly fell off of my radar, and not because it doesn't look fun. Number 3 is Zenless Zone Zero on July the 4th in the Epic Store on PC, PS5, iOS, and Android. Now, this is from the makers of Genshin Impact, so be aware it could end up with microtransactions in it that end up being criticized. That is why I think we are seeing this land on the iOS and the Android, because they probably have a pretty big audience there. The good news is it is free to play, so you can try it out. You can see if it's any good. Just be warned, games like this can get your sunk cost, they can get your investment, and then they can start to use that against you in the form of time savers or better gear or characters, and it can start to feel a little bit like, gambling. So just be aware when you put time into a free-to-play game like this, that can be something that happens. So check this one out for free whenever it hits. Up next at number 4 is a game that has received a lot of good feedback and praise from the beta gameplay. Once Human is coming out on July the 9th on PC. Now, this is described as a multiplayer open-world survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world, and the gameplay certainly has a familiarity to it, but it also looks like a really fun grind. The only major bummer here is that it is currently only slated for PC release, so console users will have to sit this one out or hope for a port. This next game is one that you will definitely want to check out if you're like me and you're on the fence. The Concord pre-order beta will be on July 11th for PS5 and PC. Now, I got that date from TrueTrophies.com. They also claim there will be an open beta later in the month for everybody. So if you pre-order Concord, they're saying the date for that beta is July 11th. They have said there is a beta in July. They just haven't given dates yet. This is the only site I could find claiming a date. Now, I'm telling you, this is one you're going to want to check out. Maybe your buddy can pre-order it and get you the codes for other people, because I have serious doubts about the demand and the longevity of a 5v5 hero shooter. Not that it doesn't look fun, because it certainly has the tight shooting and the map design influence from some of the former Destiny devs that are there, and the abilities do seem to add a lot of bombast. I just don't know if a game like this has the legs to carry itself into the future, but I'm happy to be proven wrong, and in July, we're going to get to take a look at this game for a test drive if you do the pre-order or if you jump in to the open beta. Up next at number 6 is not a game, but a DLC, and it is for one of the best-looking games of 2023. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora's DLC called The Skybreaker releases on July 16th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It describes as the game's first story pack, and the premise is pretty simple. There are new threats coming, and you must protect the western frontier. Now, I loved my time in Avatar, and I gave it high marks in my first impressions review. But the similarities to Far Cry did hurt the experience a bit, and it made it feel a bit too familiar. It made it hard to want to go back into the game, even though it was just gorgeous. I loved being in the world. Now, there is always a chance that the new content could change things up, maybe add new mechanics or gameplay loops to really help this beautiful game stand out. But it probably is going to be more like the rest of the content that is already in the game. Now, however, they do say there will be new biomes, new enemy types, as well as timed challenges and festival events. So, if you've got the game, maybe you already actually paid for this expansion, this is the first story one, be sure to check it out. This next game is one that I have heard good things about, and it has a really cool art style. Dungeons of Hinterberg comes out on July 18th for the Xbox Series X and S. It is hitting Game Pass, and it is also coming to PC. This action RPG blends social elements into the gameplay, and that actually may keep me from diving into the game fully. I do actually like the action and the combat sequences that I've seen, albeit they are a little clunky and a little slow. That could just be a stylized thing, but I'm also not really into games that want to blend in the social or sim aspects into them. So this could be one that I don't end up spending a lot of time in. However, it is a Game Pass game, so I can check it out. I can see if it's for me, and if not, you can put it down. So if you have Game Pass, be sure to check this one out. We have been hearing good things. There have been people that got hands-on with it, and they seem to like it. And again, I think that art style really deserves a look, so be sure to check this one out, especially if you have Game Pass. Now, after the first Ascendant, this next one is probably the game in July that I am looking forward to the most. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, comes out on July 18th for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Now, the more I look at this game, I think the better that it looks. We've seen it a handful of times over the years with gameplay and cinematic trailers, and there is currently a demo for this game on Steam, and I have been told by folks that have played it that the combat can be a little clunky. Now, hopefully they were maybe able to address that using the demo, using player feedback to address some of those issues, because I really remember enjoying the look and the feel of Banishers, but then I played the game and that had clunky performance, it had clunky combat, it just really ended up being a huge turnoff for me in that game. And with a game like Flintlock, the combat really has to be good. It has to feel very fluid and tight. And the trailers make it look really enjoyable. So I'm definitely going to check this one out. It's also another game hitting Game Pass. So try this one out. If they haven't ironed out all the issues with the clunky combat, hopefully they maybe can with a day one patch or something. But overall, I think it looks like a really good game. All right, so this next game I am including not out of my own interest, but because it is likely to be one of the bigger games in July. EA Sports College Football 25 releases on July 19th for PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S. Now, according to the wiki page on this game, they actually haven't done a title like this in over 10 years. Now, I've never really been too fond of sports games, especially after losing Tecmo Super Bowl to my older brother all the time when we were kids, but this one is definitely one to keep on your radar. You might just be a sports game fan, maybe you are a football fan, but especially if you are a college football fan, be sure to check this one out, because again, it seems like it's been quite a while since they've done one, so this one could be one for the books. Up next, we have another beta, and this one you have to sign up for. Marvel Rivals is having its closed beta on July 23rd for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and the PC. Now, if you want to take part, you had to head over to the Marvel Rivals official website, and you got to fill out their form there. Now, this game certainly looks a lot like Overwatch, but it has that broad appeal of the Marvel brand, and it could definitely be a contender in the arena shooter space, as fans of Overwatch 2 continue to express how they feel a little bit jilted or betrayed by some of the broken promises or some of the changes. This game, I think, also poses a threat, at least in my mind, to Concord, given their close proximity. Now, obviously, Concord is more of a shooter, but Marvel Rivals describes itself as a 6v6 PvP hero shooter, and I have to think it's going to be tough to compete with, given it has all the charm and the popularity of the Marvel characters. And I would imagine Marvel and Disney are really going to want to put a lot of money behind this. With the current state of that genre and everything that's happened with Overwatch, Marvel Rivals could end up standing very, very tall, especially if they put enough money behind it to start to move into a pro scene and get teams and organizations behind it. Games like this can take over. They can take off. They can be almost meteoric. So having its beta in the same month as Concord, and they are aiming to release around the same time, this could be bad news for Concord, but it could be good news for you if you like games like this. So be sure to check out these betas and sign up for Marvel Rivals on their official website if you want to play in July. I think that really rounds out the cadence of all of the games in July. Now, I might have missed one or two or more than that, okay? We included some expansions, or we included some betas, we included a variety of things here for you in the videos, but if I missed any, you can let me know in a comment below, or you can come over to the live stream that follows this video. This video will redirect to it if you're watching the premiere, but there's also usually a card right here and a pinned comment below, and if you like this video and you want more like it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.